Well, hey, this one is a remarkable uh, stories at 10 miles per hour. Um, the story of Kenny. There's a bunch of people I know by that name. But this one, it's definitely somebody that's dead. In a previous video, I did one about somebody that wasn't verified dead. But yeah, this one died. He was an alcoholic. Let me tell you how it all began. Uh, 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 I first met this guy, Kenny, um, back around the turn of the century, maybe a little bit before. So 1999. Okay, so 1999, there's a flurry of activity at the place and the household, and they had met somebody new, and the guy was originally from Orange County, I think. He might have been from Westlake Village, but he he came over to the house. Everybody was well. It just so happened that they had bought a big bottle of Sprite or Mountain Dew or some kind of carbonated Coca-Cola liquid that was in a big bottle, one of them big bottles of the soda. Now, this was back in around the year 2000, 1999 or so. And what had happened, this is when I first met this dude. They had brought it into the house, and Kenny was there, and I first met Kenny, and the next thing I know that happened was that when they unscrewed the cap or the top of the bottle, it exploded, and like a rocket hit him in the eye, and he was badly injured. And so we didn't know what to think about that. We just thought that, oh, well, that's too bad, you know. But you see, there could be a lawsuit brought against Coca-Cola Company or there had much competition. There may have been another bottling company, whoever it was, on the bottle. So that's what you do. First thing you're supposed to do is go back to the store where you bought it from and file a complaint with them. And then when you speak with the attorney, you say, yeah, I did that. And they're just saying, okay, well, whatever. And take it from there. But it was all messed up. And that was when I met Kenny. That's what happened. He came over to our house, and he had an accident with a soda bottle that exploded in his face and hit him in the eye and definitely caused injury. So, yeah, from then on, it's just that I would. I'm not going to be able to mess up his case because the fact of the matter is that he is dead. He was a young man. he was about our age back then, 40 something years old. He lived nearby in a neighboring town, and I actually got his picture. It's a really good picture of is Kenny. He he shacked up with a woman who had two kids, and they were teenagers. One was a little bit younger, um, and they just kind of shacked up. And the trouble with Kenny, I found out later, was that he was an alcoholic, um, and he. He only came over to our house. He didn't live there. He wasn't one of the people who lived there. He lived nearby in a trailer, and so he was involved. He was an outsider, but he was involved in the political campaigns because he was a contractor. And a long time ago, he was, making a good living in Orange County and all that. Just like, painting and doing carpentry work. I'm not, all that. Not really sure the rest. He was friends with a friend, and we all knew each other, and I just thought it was amusing. This is a weird dude that they brought over who had an accident with a soda bottle busting in his face. And so I guess he recovered from his injury, but not long after that, he's asking me if I could supply him with some supplies, because he wanted to work. And I said, "Oh, sure, no problem." And I would drop him off and put him in his mailbox, and but he was so severely addicted to alcohol. And then not long after, he kept calling me up, say, "Hey, can you help me out with it? I can put a little bit of money in your gas tank if you can take me over to my brother-in-law's place, and then he's gonna get my father to electronically send some money into the account." And what his whole objective was to get a day's supply of alcohol, which would have been a 1.75 milliliter gin. And I don't know why he preferred gin, because it tasted terrible. Oh, awful, absolutely terrible. So I'm thinking, and I didn't have any money, so I had that was my job. I had once I had some kind of rental. I'd been in an auto accident, and I had a rental card. I could help him out to a certain point, and then I don't know how I kept running that game with him, and it's just awful. And we went. We would go to the place to get the money transferred, and he'd always get the bottle, and then he'd hold it back from me when I was trying. I never considered myself an alcoholic, but the guy woke up in the morning needing alcohol, and he'd do anything he had to do to score a bottle of it, and it was just the same thing day after day. It's like, as sure as the sun rose, Kenny would call up saying, "Can you come over and transport me over to I forget the guy's name. Somebody's related to him, and then they would make a connection, and he'd always get his bottle, and it was somewhat sad, but not to me. I was just trying to survive myself, but I